Hi, guys. Welcome back. I hope everybody's doing well. Today, I have Jake Dettinger as a guest. Jake is from Utah. Did I spell that right? Manti, Utah?
Anti, yep.
Okay. Manti, Utah. And he's a licensed CPA, a real estate investor, buyer, and a fellow Sub 2 community member. Welcome, Jake.
Hey, thanks. It's glad to be here.
Yeah. So, let's start with when did you join Sub 2 and what led you to join Sub 2?
So I joined Sub 2 in April of this year, so 8 months ago. And kind of what led me to join Sub 2, a few years ago, actually, I still have a W-2 and I work in higher ed at a college. And we had a new president come in and he decided to replace the cabinet. So I was working as a vice president of finance at that time. And presidents can do that. They can come in and replace their cabinet. So, I found myself looking for a job and, just realized that I didn't have control of my future, and I wanted to, get to a place where I could become financially independent and have complete control over, my salary, my career, whatever. So my wife and I found another job, but in the meantime, we had traveled a lot, and we decided that, we stay in short-term rentals when we go. And one time we went to Hawaii a few years ago, and we're like, we're going to own a short-term rental. But it was just kind of one of those things that we just like put off. We're like, okay, yeah, we'll own one like down the road kind of a thing. So about a year ago, I was, listening to some books on tape. One of the books I read was called "The Power of Starting Something Stupid." It's the title just caught me. I was like, okay, what is this book? And so I started reading this or listening to this book, and basically the gist of the book is the author, he had a brother-in-law who passed away suddenly at 23 years old. He had no health issues, nothing, just like passed away. So then they actually named their son after him, and their son passed away after 75 days of being born. And I was like, so he just basically came to the conclusion, like, you don't know how long you're going to live. You don't know what your future is going to hold. And, most people put off, like, okay, when I retire, I'll do this, or when I get enough money, I'll buy this, blah, 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 right? We all put stuff off. And basically it's just like the gist of the book is don't wait. So my wife and I, we listened to that. We're like, okay, we've been putting this off. We're just going to start. So last fall, a year ago, we decided to start looking at short-term rentals, and I just started YouTubing, and as we all do.
YouTube University. Ooh, yeah. You can get a degree on there.
I learned a lot, so much, and I actually came across another mentorship. It's called B&B Inner Circle, which was specifically for short-term rentals. So we joined that, and we purchased 2 short-term rentals in Georgia. But as I was researching that, I came across PACE. And so I'd already joined the other mentorship, and it was a 6-month mentorship. But I decided then and there that as soon as I'm done with that mentorship, I was going to join Sub 2 because the opportunity to expand your portfolio. I mean, I was doing it for the content, right? I was like, okay, PACE, all the content he's putting out there, I just wanted access to everything, contracts, and learn how to do subject to and to buy properties without cash and blah, 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 right? Little did I know that once I got in, the community was the bigger part of it and the more beneficial part of the mentorship. So anyways, I joined in April and have enjoyed it ever since. And it's more than I had expected of what I was going to get out of it. So it's been awesome.
It was more like joining a family than mentorship, right?
For sure. Yeah, it was. I mean, in fact, for me, that's been the biggest benefit of it. It's just the connections, the network, and new friends, and yeah, there's content that I can go watch. I could spend all day watching and still never get through it.
That's not even counting the live
Great.
ones that you can participate in every day.
Yeah. I mean, it's great and the content's great, but probably the biggest benefit to me has been developing the relationships, developing partners, building your network. So,
And your other mentorship was 6 months, you said? Last for 6
yeah.
months? How long is the sub 2 community for those who are watching?
Indefinite. There is no end to it. There is no time period. Once you're in, you're in. So,
Right.
the only way you get out is if you quit showing up. So,
yeah. Or when you finally pass away, then you can go to the sub 2 community in the sky.
there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And what are your passions and areas of focus in real estate and in sub 2?
So I initially started short-term rentals, right, before I jumped into sub 2. So
You still have those?
I've actually sold them.
A lot of people have. You are like in the majority there.
So, the market hasn't been that great for short-term rentals. We were doing fine. We were making money, but I was self-managing it. That was the only way we could make money is self-manage it. If I had a property manager, it would have been like 30% of the cash flow each month. So,
right.
So we were self-managing. It was just taking a lot of time. So I actually learned or used what I learned in sub 2, and I sold it on seller finance. So I bought one of my properties at 395, and I turned around and sold it at 520 6 months later.
Wow. Nice. You're buying me lunch, bro.
With a wrap. So.
I'm kidding. You're buying lunch for your kids.
Yeah. Well, I definitely do that all the time.
Right. That'll take a quarter of that.
So I used seller finance plus a wrap. Well, I wrapped it. So I took the existing mortgage and seller financed out my equity, sold it. And the other one I actually sold, I had a partner and I just sold my share to him. So I'm actually out of the short-term rentals currently. And then my focus now, my biggest focus is Section 8 properties. I'm doing long-term rentals with a Section 8 focus. And I'm buying in Ohio and I'm looking in Houston as well. So those are kind of the two main markets we're working in right now.
What part of Ohio?
Right now, Akron is the city that we're focused on right now. Currently, we closed on one door last week, and I got 2 duplexes that we're closing on next week. So we'll have 5 doors in Akron. I'm also looking in Toledo and some other areas where it makes sense. Really, just it's affordable. I mean, the houses there we're buying under 100,000, and it's the long-term rent on them. We're able to almost most of them are getting between 25 and 30% cash on cash return on those properties each year.
Nice. So, okay. So you're just mainly like kind of focused on the Section 8 housing?
In Houston, my focus is on, I got a partner down there that we're looking to do some fix and flips. I'm open to doing Section 8 down there. Long-term rental is a little bit harder. It's an appreciating market in Houston, and what the homes are selling for and what the rent's going for. It's a little bit harder. You can wrap, or you can flip. Potentially, you can do Section 8 because the rents on Section 8 you can typically get a little bit higher than traditional long-term rent. The other play would be to do midterm rentals in the Houston area, but really my focus is flips and Section 8. The beauty of Section 8 is just the guaranteed rent. As opposed to just a regular tenant and having to deal with those issues. Most of the rent's coming from the government and it's covered, and the people don't want to lose their vouchers, so they're going to be better tenants and take care of it. So as long as you do your screening up front and find good tenants, typically you're not turn them over, and they're taking good care of your property.
Wow, awesome. Love it. Okay. Are you in any other programs in sub 2?
So yes, there's so many, right? There's so many different things you can do, but I got in Project Forward, which is, creating your own content online and trying to build your brand online. And so I have a YouTube channel. It's Jake Dettinger, under my name, and doing a podcast there, and then trying to up my game on social media as well. And then I also joined the Zero Down program, which is the business buying program. I'm not really actively pursuing anything right now. Mainly just got in so I could have access to it, and I do plan on doing it down the road. Where my background is in finance, I like the numbers, and buying businesses is something I see myself doing. So I really just want to get my portfolio built enough that I can focus more of my time and effort on buying businesses.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, so many people were in the same boat. Like a lot of us started that and we were just like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's no way I can even do what I'm doing now, let alone, I mean, because I'm just doing this and then, real estate, and it is just so hard to have time there's just so much to do. You gotta back yourself up and put something down for a little bit and pick it up later. So yeah, I totally feel you on that. I was hearing that from a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, really, I just wanted to keep the door open so that I could do it down the future. And
yeah, he said that we could always pick it up later.
Right. One of the biggest benefits though was the homework to get in, the buy-in, so to speak, to get into that program was, just to connect and build your network. That was worth it just right there. Just connecting with everybody in sub 2, finding new people to work with, and for me that was fun, and it was awesome, and well worth the buy-in to get into the Zero Down program.
He's so good at like coming up with ideas to bring us together, like he kind of did the same sort of thing for this Project Forward thing. He was like, I want everybody to make a Calendly account and send it out and do a video of yourself. I mean, yeah, he's really good about just, if you're dipping your toe in the water, he'll be walking by and push you in the pool.
Yeah. Well, I like how he's given us homework and he's given us steps at a time, right? It's not like he's given us this entire list and like, here's everything we're gonna do. Instead, it's like, okay, this week you focus on these 3 things, do these 3 steps, okay, and then next week we'll move to the next phase. That's been awesome, and I think at a pace, it's at a pace that we can maintain, right? So
yeah, let's maintain our pace. Totally. Okay. So do you have any advice for someone just starting out in the sub 2 community?
I think they should make that the homework when you first start. Network with, I mean, they do say it, right? When you get in, you go to the newbie Zoom, they're like, okay, connect, build your network, try and find new friends, right?
Uh-huh.
I think it should be like an assignment just right from the beginning, because if you really want to get going, the best thing you can do, instead of just diving right into the content's great, right? So you want to learn, you need to get in there. But the best thing you can do is build your network. Go out and get some friends. Go out and find people in the areas you want to work in the markets you want to work in. Find out what they need. Let them know what you need. Figure out how you can work together. And I mean, in doing that, building friends, I found several people that I'm now working on specific projects that we're going to do. And and if I hadn't built those connections, that would be there. Instead, I'd be trying to do it by myself. And yeah, you can probably do it by yourself, but it's just going to take so much longer and so much more time. There's people out there
that's why it's not a mentorship. It's not a coaching program. It's literally a community.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and use the community. So I would say from day one, build a network, find new friends and maybe make a goal to like make a new friend every day. Just every day, find a new friend in the community and figure out how you guys can help each other out. So
Yeah. Love it. I love it. So, what are some of your interests and passions outside of Sub 2?
um so I got 6 kids. So that's pretty much most of my free time is
Paige's parents had 14.
oh
He just
yeah.
said on the Zoom last night.
Wow.
I was like, "Is your last name Duggar or what?"
Yeah.
So he said last night on the Zoom. I catch this little stuff and I'll just remember it, right? But I can't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Anyway, he said I had 4 brothers and I had 8 sisters, and I'm like, "What?" It was like wild.
Yeah, Pace is from Utah, right? I'm from
Uh-huh.
Utah. Utah's known for large families. We have a lot of kids. We have 6 kids. My oldest is 17. My youngest is 4. So most of my free time revolves around my kids, right? My kids are involved in activities, sports, playing high school. My kids love soccer, and I actually coach soccer. So in my free time, I coach most of my kids. So I'm coaching, and then um, yeah, pretty much that's my free time. I love outdoors, being outside. We're close to the mountains here, so going hiking and that kind of stuff is great. But probably 90% of my free time at home is spent with doing stuff with my kids.
Are they homeschooled or
No,
no?
no, they're in school, and so yeah, I got 2 in high school now, and they play.
Get them out of the house. No.
Yeah, or for sure, my wife's like they need to go to school, but
Right.
she she wants some quiet in the house, so
6 hours is not long enough.
no,
I
no,
wanted more. I had 3, but
summer
I
is a
wanted
countdown for
more.
us as parents, like to
Yeah.
the end of summer when they go back to school. So
Yes. Yes. I wanted to have like foster kids at one point, and like my husband was not down for that at the time. And I'm like, dude, I'm doing everything anyway. What do you care? But yeah, I love having all the kids around. And when I was with my fiance that I was telling you about on your podcast, he had 3 kids. So when we were together, there were like 6 of them, and I was like
oh,
in heaven. I loved it.
uh,
He was like, I'm going out here. I'm gonna be in the garage. I'm like, okay, whatever.
yeah, that's me. Like I have a gym in my garage, so sometimes at night I just have to go out. I go out, work out, and just get some quiet. And maybe
Yeah.
1 or 2 of my kids will come out with me, but it's like too much noise in the house. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go outside.
Right, right. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta step away,
Yeah,
but it can be good times. Definitely.
it's fun. I enjoy my kids. They're good pros and cons, right? Good and bad.
Yeah. So when you buy sub two properties, you like to help the sellers, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
so
go
this
ahead.
is what you were telling me. You like to help sellers in distress, like obviously with the Section 8 housing and like in arrears, like maybe pre foreclosure, I guess that would be,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Divorce.
I
What about that?
I mean, Pace talks about this a lot. You gotta. He talks about his initial story, find the bunnies, right? Figure out the seller's needs.
And these are the bunny ears. Did you know that?
Yep, the sub two. And for me, that just really struck to me. And his book, Go Giver, that's been one of my favorite books. Well, it's not his book, but he recommends the book.
Hmm.
And I love that. And that really part of what drew me to Pace is that like he is out there trying to just help people. He's doing it more than just to make money. And that really strikes a chord with me.
Hmm.
I want to help people. I don't just want it to be just a transaction. I want to
Right.
figure out, okay, how can we make this a win-win? So, how can I help the seller out and still make it a, positive cash flow for me, so it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's really turned me to Section 8. Section 8 housing really focuses on people who, for one reason or other, they're struggling, whether it's financially or maybe they have a medical disability and, struggle finding a high paying job or whatever it is. And, Section 8 opens that door for them to allow them to kind of afford to live, afford to provide a place for their family while they're trying to get ahead, while they're trying to, improve their, status in life. Or maybe it is a permanent disability, right? A permanent medical disability where they just are going to need help for the rest of their life. And so that really helps them. It provides an opportunity for them where they can have decent housing or for their family, So for me, that's really why I am really focused on Section 8, is because it does focus on those individuals that are struggling and could use the extra resources or help to really get ahead. So definitely,
I don't think there's anything more rewarding than when you help somebody who really needs it, and then they're just so thankful. I mean, it's
yeah.
it's such a great feeling to be able to help people like that.
So, and that's on the the tenant side, and then of course on the seller side, if the seller has a reason that they need to sell, whether it's a divorce or that's maybe they had a medical issue, right? And they got a lot of medical bills they need to pay those off, or they lost their job, they need to move, whatever reason, and maybe they can't sell traditionally because it just doesn't make sense on the market. That's where love to step in and help them out. Let's figure out a way that we can make it work so that get you in a better situation.
Right, right. So, yeah, I mean, you're in the right place because your vibe attracts your tribe, right? Pace is
Yeah,
attracting his tribe right now. You're part of his tribe.
honestly, that was probably one of the biggest things that attracted me to him. More than just the creative finance, it was like, okay, he's a go-giver. He helps people.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even think he realizes how the magnitude of the impact that he has on everybody, not just in real estate, but in general. I kind of
Yeah.
get that vibe off of him a lot. Like, I don't think he realizes how much everybody loves and seriously, genuinely appreciates him.
Hmm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he does, but he sure does have an impact.
Yeah. So your markets are, you said Dallas, Fort Worth,
Hmm.
Houston, Atlanta. Did I forget to put commas in there? It looks like one long place,
That's just one market.
right? You never
Um,
heard of Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Atlanta, Utah?
yeah. So Atlanta, mostly it was my short-term area. So I haven't really spent a lot of time or effort in there since then. But Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston, those areas, like I said, looking to do fix and flips, looking to long-term rent if it makes sense, or Section 8 rents. And then also Ohio, that's kind of a newer market that I didn't have on my buy box. I need to update my buy box, but we're focusing. I've got a partner there, and we're focusing right now in Akron, Ohio, but I'm also looking at Toledo, Ohio, and those markets specifically, we're doing Section 8 type housing. So
Mm-hmm.
Utah, I'm open to it because I live here, but the market's just so expensive. It's an expensive market in
Yeah,
the country, and
I remember you
uh,
saying that.
it's just a little. It's harder. Rents. Um, Long-term rentals just don't make sense because the price of housing is just so high. So you could probably do flips here, maybe wraps, but long-term
And are
rentals
they
a little
sitting
bit
on the
harder.
market there as well, or are they doing better around there?
What was that? Sorry.
You said you could do flips there. Are homes sitting on the market for a while where you are? too? Or yeah, wow.
No, they're not. It's still an appreciating market. It really hasn't slowed down. Interest rates, I mean, interest rates have slowed down the volume of transactions,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as stuff sitting on the market for a long time, it's not sitting. So it's not driving the prices down.
Wow.
Um, there's still influx of people moving into the state, and the demand is still high for housing, and the supply is low. So it unfortunately has not turned the market here in Utah yet, and I don't know if it will anytime soon. So
Oh, wow.
that's why I'm
You
looking
don't
to
have
move.
plans of relocating anywhere? You want to stay right there?
Yeah,
Just let
my
your
family
house
loves it
increase in
here.
value?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, seriously. I mean, I built my home 6 years ago, and it's triple the value of what I paid for it. And I mean,
wow.
so
Yeah.
I could sell it and make a lot of money, but I'd have to move out of state because if I wanted to buy anything, I couldn't afford it. And I'm
Right?
sitting at an interest rate of 2.5% on my house. I'm not, I don't want to give that up. So
Right.
can't
Well,
replace
if
that.
you ever did decide to move, you have what, 6 little helpers, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plan is just to do remote markets and work virtually in those areas. So
Do you have boots on the ground in your markets here?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's been one of the things that's been great is networking with people in those areas. Um, like one of my partners that we're doing flips with in Houston, he's in Houston, so he's the boots on the ground. He can go do all that work, and I help kind of find the financing
Oh,
for those projects.
right. Okay. So your buy box. I'm going to show everybody your buy box here. Anybody who wants to look for properties for Jake or sell properties to Jake for cash deals, he's looking for anything 50% of after repair value or below. That's kind of where the market's at right now
Yeah.
in order to be able to handle the carrying cost and everything else. And he also, of course, is open to subject to and seller finance. And then here's Jake's criteria for his buy box. Is this all the same? I kind of got this off of your link tree thing there. Is all this pretty
Yeah,
much?
I mean, I'm willing to, go a little bigger, a little smaller than that. That's probably more for the Texas areas. In Ohio, typically they're like 3-1 or maybe even 4-1. They're older homes, so they don't have as many baths. Um, so yeah, I mean close to that, but definitely willing to look at stuff that's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller.
Gotcha. Okay. And then finally, to get in touch with Jake, if you want to send him deals or if you want to reach out to him and connect with him, here's his link tree. And wow, you really have that filled out so well. I mean, there's like what, 10 things on there? You can submit deal information to him. You can find him on all his social media. Yeah, lots of stuff on there.
I can't take all the credit for that because I just copied a few other people like Caroline and so too. So
Yeah. The what? In
they should
Tanisha?
get the credit. Yeah.
Oh, they should get the credit. Yeah. Well, they do make it kind of easy nowadays. I mean, they're like, just here's how you do it. Put this in, put that in. Yeah.
It's nice. It makes it easy, right? To have all
Yeah.
your social contacts in one
Yeah.
spot.
I've been meaning to do it. I really need to do it, but I've been trying to do a restructuring on the social media too. So I kind of wanted to get that done first, I guess. But yeah, Jake. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. Do you have any parting words for the guest, or is there anything else?
No, we just appreciate being on here. I really enjoy Sub 2. So if you're on the fence thinking about whether you should join or not, highly recommend it. I think I saw on your link that you have a link for them to join if they are interested in joining. So a referral link. So make sure you click on that and let them know Shanna invited you, or you won't regret it. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah,
you will be grateful that you joined.
Yeah, I mean, it is so amazing. I haven't heard any of the 13,000 people that we have so far. God, every time I tell people how many people are in this community, it's gone up a couple hundred.
I think when we joined, we both joined in April. I think there was 6,000 or 7,000,
something like that. I mean, it's growing at a ridiculous rate.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
it's crazy.
Sometimes, I mean, I don't know how it's gonna look in the future, but wow. I mean, that's how phenomenal it is. It's growing so fast.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to network, there's plenty of people to network with.
I mean, just that alone. Did you know that Jerry Norton joined our community recently?
Yeah, I actually got to meet Jerry a couple months ago.
Did you?
Him and Pace came to Salt Lake, and it was like they just announced it like the day. I want to say the day of. They're like, okay, Jerry and I are stopping by, and I'm like, okay, I'm dropping what I'm doing. I canceled my afternoon appointments, and I drove up and
right.
So,
oh man, I'm jealous. I wish.
Awesome experience. It was.
I will eventually. Yeah.
Well worth it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Jake. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you again for having me.
You're welcome. All right. Bye, guys. See you next time.